Let's start by creating the sketch. Slightly above the middle of the canvas, draw a neat circle. This will be the nose of our cute gnome. From the center of the circle on both sides, draw wavy lines for the mustache, with the tips curving slightly upward to give the character a playful look. Above the nose, draw a smooth arc. This will be the beginning of the fluffy edge of the hat that will adorn our little hero's head. Now, let's complete the edge of the hat, shaping it like a rounded rectangle with a gently curved corners. Make sure the lines are smooth and flowing, not too sharp. It's especially important not to press too hard on your pencil if you're working on canvas, like I am. The top of the hat will extend beyond the edges of the canvas, with the tip and pom-pom hanging down. The gnome's hat is triangular, so we start by drawing the upper part of a triangle, smoothly transitioning into the lower part, which resembles an inverted triangle with a small circle at the tip. This will be the pom-pom, completing the hat. Next, draw the long, voluminous beard as shown in the video. Due to the gnome's build, his beard will reach all the way down to the top of his boots. Now, draw the gnome's jacket. Mostly, only the sleeves will be visible, as his body is hidden by the beard. Draw the boots as simple ovals. This will give the character a light and charming look. Now, to add some variety to the composition, let's draw a few pine branches, cones, and berries. Place them randomly, following your imagination, or replicate my steps as shown. This is roughly how my sketch turned out. Feel free to pause the video to take a closer look. Now, take the lightest orange marker for the gnome's nose. Leave a small white circle in the center for the highlight, and apply color in circular motions to the rest of the nose. Then, immediately blend the color with a water brush, carefully avoiding the white highlight, to create depth and softness. Next, take a pink shade and apply it to the bottom of the nose and slightly along the edges. Then gently blend it with water. To enhance the pink tone of the nose, add a touch of red to the bottom. Then gently blend it with water to maintain smooth transitions. Take the lightest yellow-brown shade. I'm using a sandy tone. Using strokes, as shown in the video, fill in the hair under the hat, the mustache. Try to leave small gaps between the strokes to create texture. Then blend everything well with water for a soft and natural effect. Take a brown shade to create a shadow under the hat. Apply it along the lower edge of the hat and slightly blend it with water for a smooth transition. Now, take a darker brown shade to deepen the shadow cast by the nose onto the mustache. Take a sandy shade and use strokes to work through the entire gnome's beard, creating texture. Then blend with water to smooth out harsh transitions and achieve a soft, natural look. Use a darker brown shade to add a few details to the beard. Apply strokes in areas where shadows or depth are needed, such as near the ends of the hair. Take an even darker brown shade to create a shadow cast by the mustache onto the beard. This will add depth and emphasize the form. Deepen the shadow under the hat as well by applying the color along the lower edge. Gently blend with water to keep the transitions soft and natural. Let's move on to the clothing. Use a light pink shade to highlight the bright areas on the jacket sleeves and the cuffs of the pants. Apply the color with gentle strokes, leaving room for adding shadows later. Take a red shade and create the base layer for the clothing. Evenly fill in the jacket and pants, leaving the highlighted areas untouched to add depth. Use a dark burgundy brown shade to add shadows to the fabric. Apply it in the folds, along the edges of the sleeves and pants, and where the clothing overlaps with the beard. Gently blend with water to make the transitions look natural. Take a light gray shade and start adding tone to the shoes. Lightly fill them in, leaving the center of the ovals untouched to create a highlight effect. This will give the shoes depth and realism. Immediately apply a darker gray shade along the edges of the shoes, especially at the bottom. This will add shadows and make the footwear more dimensional. Gently blend the edges with water to achieve smooth transitions. Deepen the shadows on the clothing using a dark burgundy brown shade, but this time do not blend with water to preserve the texture of the material. Next, take a light pinkish red shade to mark the highlights on the hat. In my design, the hat and jacket of the gnome are the same color, but feel free to choose your own shades to make your drawing unique. Take a rich red color and fill in the rest of the hat. Apply the color evenly to maintain a balance between the highlighted areas and the base layer. Use the lightest shade of gray to add soft shadows to the fluffy part of the hat. Apply the color with gentle strokes to create volume while leaving enough white space to maintain a fluffy effect. Add red tones to the jacket to enhance its richness and make it more vibrant. Use a darker gray shade to work on the shadowed areas of the fluffy parts on the hat. Apply strokes in places hidden from light, such as under the hat. This will add more depth and realism. Let's move on to the background. Using light gray and blue shades, we paint the snow. Add soft strokes to create shadows and give the impression of snowdrifts. Be sure to leave some areas white to capture the sparkle of snow. Use a bright, rich red color to work on the berries. I envisioned them matching the color of the gnome's clothing, but you can make them any color you prefer. Remember to leave a small circle in the center of each berry untouched for a highlight to give them volume. Start working on the pine cones with a sandy shade. Use light strokes to create texture, adding details and depth. Without blending, add a richer and darker brown shade to the shadowed areas of the pine cone scales. Then, take an even darker brown and deepen the shadows, especially in the deepest areas. Only after that, lightly blend everything with water for smooth transitions. Before moving on to the pine cones, let's add depth to the shadows on the berries. Use a darker red shade to enhance the shadows around the berries and highlight their shape. Using a grassy green shade, start detailing the first layer of the pine branches. Although it already looks interesting, I decided to blend this layer with water to use it as a base for more detailed layers. This way, I want to push the branches to the background. Think about whether you'd like to do the same. While the layer with the branches is drying, let's work on detailing the pom-pom with light gray. Use gentle strokes to add volume without overpowering the other elements. Also, add extra details to the furry trim of the hat and the boots to highlight the texture and create a sense of depth. Next, take the same grassy green shade and start detailing the needles on the pine branches. Use light strokes following the direction of growth to create a natural look. Then lightly blend them to soften and smooth the appearance without losing their shape. Use dark brown to work on the shadowed areas of the berries, adding depth and emphasizing their shape. Also, detail the pine cones by enhancing the shadows on the scales for a more pronounced volume. Darken the lower part of the boots with dark gray or even black to add more depth. With the leftover material on the brush, carefully create shadows under the boots and berries on the snow. Strengthen the shadows everywhere with the appropriate colors. Dark, rich red for the clothing and hat, dark gray for the furry parts of the hat, and black for the boots. This will add depth and make the image more expressive and layered. Use dark green to draw fine needles on the pine branches. Apply light, directional strokes to create a natural look and add detail to the branches. Deepen the shadows on the beard using dark brown, adding more volume and definition. Then lightly blend with water to soften the transitions while maintaining the texture of the strands. Now let's work on the background. I decided to mix several colors, blue, yellow, and green. I blended them on a separate palette and applied them to the canvas with a damp brush using dappled motions. This technique creates a cloud-like effect, adding softness and an airy feel to the painting. I decided to make the gnome more stylized by adding an outline. This step is optional. You can skip it if you prefer to keep a softer, more natural look for your drawing. I'm using gouache to add highlights and to draw snowflakes. You can choose any other material that's convenient for you, such as acrylic paint or a white gel pen. This was the final step of our work. Thank you so much for watching. I'd love to hear your comments, especially if you decide to recreate this drawing with me. Tag me on social media and subscribe to the channel. I'm planning to share many more exciting tutorials in the future.